Hello, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tech Exec podcast, where we help you build a team worth leading. Now, today we're going to be talking about taking stock. Before I get to that, let me remind you, this is the last call to get 50% off on my live stream offering. It's a package of 8 live streams, all intended to help you be the best leader you can be. If you're enjoying these short podcast episodes, just imagine what you can get from something that's a lot more constructed and built exactly to help people like you shine. So check out the link in the show notes. Now, taking stock is about helping you realize what you've already achieved. When working with people, I see that many of us have this innate motivation wanting to get things better, wanting to achieve greatness. However, if you never take a moment to evaluate what you've achieved so far, you're never going to maximize your potential. And I know that many people view this as some sort of navel gazing, patting themselves on the back, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about genuinely realizing what have you achieved, because first of all, you deserve it. You've earned it. If you've done something great, why not admit it? And I sometimes talk to founders, and every day you're in the weeds with the new challenge, with whatever problem is on your plate today, and I get that. But sometimes you need to step back for a second and say to yourself, what have I achieved over the last 3 months, 6, the last year? If you realize that, you can see over the longer term the actual signal and make it out of the noise, because every day you have these things going on, but if you don't take stock about what has happened, you might feel like you're not making enough progress. And this is important for a few reasons. First of all, it is energizing. Whenever I have this call with a client and I told them, let's consider what you of 12 months ago would have told you, seeing what you've accomplished. Most of them are pretty happy. And this energy is amazing. It also helps you then motivate your team, because you can see what you're achieving together and you can help them see that as well. And if we're talking about achieving greatness, even if you're not pleased with where you are right now and you know you have a lot more to do, by taking stock, you understand 2 things. One, you can spot your areas where you can easily get things done, your areas of strength, where you can easily leverage them and achieve a lot more, which is great. We need to know what we're good at. And the other side of the coin is that you might realize, those are things I always struggle with. Or that is something, a certain issue, a certain skill, a certain scenario that I tend to try and evade, that I postpone, that I procrastinate on. And when you acknowledge those, all of a sudden you know what you're lacking, and you can use that to inject some deliberate practice into your own day-to-day work. You know what you need to get help on, you know what you need to practice, you know what you need to be aware of, and that taking stock can help you in all of those aspects and push you to greatness, help your team be the best team it can be. And again, this all goes straight to the first sentence of this episode. We want to lead teams worth leading. And those teams don't just spontaneously show up when you say, I have a startup. No, you have to get the right people and you have to get them right. You have to help them shine. You can do it. I've seen so many leaders get amazing results out of people just because they put their minds to it and they proactively, intentionally thought about this. So do that. You can do amazing things that way. And I want you to right now take stock. What have you learned from this episode? Thank you. Again, check out the show notes for a link to my regular newsletter as well as the live stream package that will help you take stock and be the best leader you can be, the leader your team deserves. That's it for this week. I'll be here next week.